Boom! Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's Friday night, guys. It's the Aid Thompson show, marketed in no way misleadingly as Aid Thompson and Other Disappointments. The show that attempts to make sense of the senseless, light of your darkness, and reason with the unreasonable. People with equal helpings of self-satisfied snarkasm all along the way. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all enjoying or enduring the week that we've just all lived through. You bloody wonders, you dreams, you miracles that tune in each and every Friday night to join us here on the live show, the Friday night live show. Yes, it's Friday night. It's the end of another week, guys. So welcome. Welcome back to you guys, especially my beautiful Patreons, my channel members. And of course, welcome back to the filthy, godless heathens of Apple and Spotify who shamelessly gulp this shit down 2 days later without fail for free. And I always say, if you can't join the Patreon, it starts at £1 a month, guys. £1. But I always say, if you can't join the Patreon or the YouTube channel, you can do either one of those. Same figures. Just make sure that you're subbed, that you've liked, that you've shared me about a bit, like the generous harlot that I am. In exchange for this veritable satirical lap dance that I'm giving you with these videos, week in and week out. And of course, people in the live chat, equally generous in donating their Friday nights here with me, looking after me. My veritable carers, aren't you? Guys, each week, tuning in, checking up on me as I once again escalate and descend into my purgatorial state of unmedicated mania without fail every week. Thank you for turning up, for showing up for me, guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. Woo! Each and every one of you. And of course, welcome back to me. Because I've been off, as you guys will know, I've been off for a couple of weeks now. This is my first show back for a couple of weeks. Which is nice. It's been nice to have a little break. I feel refreshed. I feel ready to get back in or on my throne, I guess is what this is. It may look like a clearance deal chair from Argos, but I like to think of it as a throne of sorts, and that I am king of my Friday night Binfluencer cult here. I'm growing my cult, my Patreon Binfluencer cult, and this, cast aside from our kitchen refit slab of wood, cunningly disguised as a desk, this is my podium, from which I now conduct my twice-weekly sermons. Gather round, ye people of the Booge, as we might navigate the weeds of this formerly Great Britain together again tonight in this congregation. And we might look for answers, morality and logic in a society that seems hell-bent on denying us all three. And society-wise, news-wise, I suppose we will get onto some of that in but a moment. As per usual, as is tradition. A bit of bitching about roundabouts. Flags. The Great British Summer's latest craze of, what's it been? It's the same people who were so incensed by rainbow flags that they would film themselves burning them in their own garden, in their courtyard. The same people as that. It's fine if you're gay, but why do you need the flag? Why have you got to wave it in everybody's face all the time? Those same guys, have now pivoted to raising the colours. Haven't they? Raising the colours is this summer's campaign. The riots didn't work out. So now we're on to raising the colours, guys. At every possible location. Raising the colours, so they are. From lampposts to mobile phone masts to church steeples. I saw earlier. I don't know if you saw that one. See the confused as fuck mourners in the graveyard. Somebody's mortified daughter back from university for the summer, seeing how radicalized and frog-boiled her own father has become for the first time. Catching him raising those colours up on the church steeple. Mourners down here in the fucking graveyard just trying to get the lower the coffin phase done in peace. Somebody's daughter going like, oh, what are you doing, Dad? Poking her head through the bushes. What are you doing? And the father's like, there's a steeple. There's a steeple up there without a flag on it. She's like, get down, Dad. These people are trying to bury their child, for fuck's sake. Like, is this what happens when I go away for a couple of weeks? That's what happens. I take 2 weeks off from taming and tempering the far right, and they all go fucking batshit. Is this? I can't have a break. I can't take 2 weeks off. Guys. You know, because we've got Farage talking about, mass deportations openly now. That's just part of the political conversation. Well, should we do mass deportation? How would this even work? Who's against it? Let's have a debate. Let's have a debate back and forth with a lefty and a right winger. It's part of the conversation now. We've got him talking about mass deportations. We've got very divorced men raising the colours when they seldom raise their own children. We've got MPs, elected MPs, replying on Twitter with racial slurs now. That's happening. I don't know if you saw that one. That one blew up yesterday. You know, I came back from holiday. I was like, have you all lost your fucking minds? What has gone on? How did this get so bad? I didn't check any of the news apps the whole time I was away. I was like, I'm having a break. I'm unplugging from the news. That's it. I need to come down a bit. I turned them back on, turned the push notifications, checked a couple of feet. I was like, what the fuck? What is going on? In this formerly Great Britain, I wondered. I saw this one matey on a Vox Pop earlier. And the journalist was like, what is it that you've actually got against asylum seekers? And this guy was like, we don't know where they come from. Well, they get a free roof over their head. They ruin the community. I was like, how? How do they ruin the kid? Like, did they vandalize a zebra crossing? Because I can see how that might be annoying. Oh yeah, the other thing I was thinking was, you know how these divorced incelly guys, kind of synonymous with the social media accounts where they hold a fish. It's just like a man holding a fish, smiling at him. Like that. Are you aware of that? Is that a common meme? I've seen it talked about quite a lot. How weird it is, this anomaly. Scroll down the replies, the comments, the clapbacks. There's always these. I mean, a lot of it's bots, right? A lot of it are bots. A lot of it are just, accounts that are made up with 17 different numbers straight after the, at John 7928300, blah, blah, blah. Right, they're obvious. That's obvious what that is. But some of them are just, a guy and then he's holding a fish. It's a well-known thing, right? They're men. They're men and they fish. That's their thing. Or in Magaland, if you go on like some like American accounts, you'll see a lot of clapbacks, a lot of replies. Very, very similar thing. In Magaland, it's like a guy with his truck, right? That's their thing. It's a man with his truck, a man with his fish, because we are men. And I was thinking, like, I don't know if the single women of the United Kingdom are ready for the deluge of sad, pathetic losers who are going to update their Tinder profiles with a picture of them next to a mini roundabout that they've just painted. Like, that is going to be their Tinder or Hinge or whatever the fuck, Bumble, I don't know. It's going to happen. It's going to be the new Brexity, incelly man with a fish profile pic, isn't it? The angry white guy kneeling, holding a can of red paint on a mini roundabout. Smart, that's going to be the picture. And you're going to know everything you need to know about that guy from his picture. Like, I really don't understand the whole painting roundabouts and, zebra crossings stuff. You know, do they think they're conquering the roundabout? Is that is that the logic? Is it, this is mine? Like, put a flag on it. It's like Neil Armstrong planting the stars and stripes on the moon. It's Francis Drake planting the English flag in California. So I read. Do they wake up in a stellar-soaked haze, I wondered, and get confused and think that they've invaded the A3, A25 intersection. Like, we've secured the perimeter, Gary! Put the flag in! Some guy comes up from another roundabout. Like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from the B352 roundabout. What the fuck, the B352 roundabout? This is the A325 intersection. Fucking string him up. Kick him out. Erect the fort. Gary. But anyway, yes, sorry. I went on holiday. I'm sorry to have left you all for a couple of weeks. It's been 2 weeks since the last podcast, the last Friday night show. And it was fun. It was fun to get away. It was nice. It was good to spend some time with the family, to get a break from the news. Holidays in general, I don't know if I function optimally when I'm on holiday. I really don't think I'm my best self when I'm away, because it's a bit like most people go away to sort of relax and unwind, don't they? See the sights, have some fun. Most people associate holiday with what, like enjoying your food, drinking too much wine, pictures of booze, maybe if it's a boozy holiday with your mates, all-inclusives, all of that, bit of excess, ill-advised diet. But it's okay, I'm on holiday. I'm on holiday. Yeah, it's fine. Just let your hair down a bit, Aid. How often do you hear people saying, like, oh, I'm still carrying a bit of holiday weight. I put a bit on over the summer holiday. A lot of that stuff to it, right? Excess. It's a time to relax and unwind and eat interesting food and drink more than you should or more than you would do normally. But instead, I was sat there, and this is true of basically every time I go to a hot country or hot air. I was sat there in this water park looking at these guys with, like, six packs and gym-toned physiques, and I looked down at myself, my sort of slouch marks, and I was like, I am such a pudgy cunt these days. I really am. Like, I need to get healthier. I need to sort out my diet. I need to stop eating so much shit. Should I order the salad? Maybe I should have a salad. Like, it has completely the opposite effect on me. You know, like, oh, you're on holiday. Let your hair down. Eat what you like. Drink a... Should I, though? Should I? I'm reflecting. I'm thinking about things. Is there a better way? Should I make better food choices? Do I eat emotionally, I wondered, on my holiday? Which is 100% the wrong attitude to have when you're on holiday, right? You know, you should be letting go of your worries. You should be eating and drinking. Instead, I'm doing the opposite of that. You know, it's kind of like going to church and I don't know. It's just like wanking in the Vatican or something. Like it's that sort of, you know, it's the total opposite of what you're supposed to be doing in that environment, isn't it? No? I don't know. What am I talking about? Let's move on. Do you know what? There's a when in Rome joke in there somewhere, but I can't get to it. I'm very tired. The joke cogs not turning. It's funny. People get really upset, don't they, when you mix Catholicism with sex, make jokes and stuff. But not as upset as people get when Catholics mix Catholicism with sex, because that really upsets them. That really gets them. Oh my goodness, do they get cross? You know, with all the raging fucking nonceburgers, industrial, institutional nonceburgery over that way. Like, it's almost a national sport in the Vatican, is what Catholic kid fucking is, guys. Like, it's not far from that territory. We'll get back to the politics in a minute, don't worry. People coming over here from that tweet I put out this morning about the ex-teacher on Sky News, lives up in Yorkshire, complaining about small boats. What the fuck? You live in Yorkshire. People coming over to this from that tweet, like, oh, maybe I'll check out his podcast. Seems like a head screwed on kind of guy. See what he's got to say about things. I'm sure a couple of salient points. Jump over to YouTube. I'm fucking talking about raging nonceburgers and wanking in the Vatican. No, please stick with me. Stay with me. We can do politics and current affairs. Be serious, sake. However, you know, while we're on the subject, I may as well tell you. Probably not going to come up again, so I'll get it off my chest now. I do have a friend who has this thing for forbidden sex, and bringing his weird fantasy stuff, specifically to nuns, to Catholic nuns. I don't know if he went to a Catholic school or anything, if that's where it comes from, but that is his thing. Like, he's told me about it. I don't know if you guys listening or watching this or in the live chat have got friends like that. I've got slightly weird kinks, very specific kinks like that. Because for him, like, a hot nun is, and he's told me this, he says that a hot nun, a sexy nun, is the sexiest thing in the world. Because he says it's so forbidden. It's so off the table. It's too taboo. And that makes it hot, apparently. You know, it's like this whole how could you even consider bringing your sinful thoughts to someone so good and so pure as a nun, Tony? I wasn't gonna say his name. Oops, I'm sorry. I hope his wife isn't watching this, because it could get a little bit awkward for him, I suppose. But yes, anyway, he says that it's because it's so frowned upon and taboo that it makes it a turn on with the hot nuns, which I sort of kind of understand. But then also, like, when he told me this, I was a bit like, well, you know, but by that, like, what if the nuns are basically that too? Do you know what I mean? Like, what if the forbidden nun fetish includes the nuns themselves? You know, like if it's so taboo, it's so off the table, Tony. You know, where they're willing, it's so hot, it's so forbidden that they're willing to forsake largely mediocre sex, let's be honest about it, permanently. They're willing to not have that unless and until someone tries to forbidden fuck them. Because honestly, it's worth it then. It's so forbidden and so hot that it's going to make that final boss fuck worth all of the abstinence. Do you know what I mean? Even now, years later, after that conversation, I'm like, that was a fucking good point, Abe. You nailed that. He was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, it could be a thing for them too, Tony. It could be. You know? That length of time, going, like it'd be like going without a wank for 5 weeks, or except years. And finally, you break the glass. How do we know that that's not what this is? I see what you're up to. You horny fucking nuns. You filthy harlots. You don't fool me. Anyway, let's try and get this back on the topic, shall we? So yes, we went on holiday, guys. People in the live chat going like, where did you go on holiday? We took the ferry down to Spain overnight. It was a 2-day job, you know, overnight ferry, which is a weird experience in itself for me because I've never taken an overnight ferry before. I've never done that before. It's quite expensive, as I found out. Just to book the tickets. But it's okay, I reasoned, because, you know, even though the price tag for booking the tickets, for getting the tickets for the ferry, even though it is pretty expensive, it's kind of like being on holiday already, isn't it? On the ferry, on the overnight ferry. Like, it looks really good on the websites. There's no end of facilities. They advertise it as having, like, you know, a cinema on board, and there's live entertainment, and there's video games, happy families clapping along. Then you get on board, and the video game is just a plasma. It's just a plasma screen with, like, one of them's got Mario Kart on it, and like, they're just, you know, passing the controller around some kid. Like, it's just, you know, a Nintendo thing, and they're just passing the thing around. It's not like an actual, you know, gaming facility. And then there's another, like, plasma where they've had some custom-made ferry-based games that are pretty shit up on there. The soft play is really fucking tiny. The kids got immediately bored with it. The cinema and the Wi-Fi, you got to pay extra for, guys. Got to pay extra on top of the extortionate ferry ticket prices. And it's expensive. I can tell you that right now. It's 30 fucking pounds for Wi-Fi per account. So if you got like a family of 4 and everyone's got their own device, you are fucked. It's so much money. It's the most expensive internet since, I don't know, what's the most expensive internet related fuck up ever? It's got to be on a par with it. 30 pounds per person for the Wi-Fi. Which is fine, right? It's fine. I get it, guys. People that work for the ferry company, I understand it. Captive audience, right? I get it. I understand. You get people in. Once you got them stuck on a boat for a couple of days, the chances are that they're probably going to need a drink and a way to keep their kids busy, right? They're probably going to buckle and then end up paying extortionate rates for the Wi-Fi and the cinema. So why not price gouge the fuck out of them? You know, while they're stranded on your floating fucking service station. Just milk them. Just price gouge and milk them with your jacked up prices and cheap shit for 2 whole days. It's fine. I get it. I understand. I get it. You know, some would be infuriated by being treated in that manner, being exploited, drained of your cash. But not me. I can see it's it's a good business model. It's it's a good way to bring in revenue in this economy, which is, a tad, ironically, something of a sinking ship. It's a good business model. And yes, while I have you, sign up for the Patreon. Ba-boom! Psh! But yes, the thing that kind of got me was like, it's a weird thing to charge people so much for literally everything, to drain them of so much money, and then pay your staff so little. Because it's hospitality, right? It's literally minimum wage, or not far off it. But you got this corporation bringing in as much fucking money as you possibly can. Minimum wage for the staff. No money for the staff. And then as I was getting milked, as I was being drained and milked and looted and Googling the hourly rate to work on this thing, I was also thinking how you'd also need to find staff, if you were running this boat, you'd also need to find staff who are upbeat about this situation. You'd also have to find people who are happy, because it's the leisure industry, isn't it? It's hospitality, it's leisure, it's cruises, which means viewers, listeners, to staff a ferry like this one that we were on, you need to find people who are dumbly happy to earn dog shit money while the company itself makes an obvious killing. You need to find the same breed of people who are happy to earn cleaner pay on an offshore oil rig. Like that sort of caliber of stupidity / happiness, dumbness and dappiness. You need to find janitors from the Death Star level of stupidity and workplace risk. You need to find a Deliveroo guy that brings you your food via base jump. That's a caliber of happy workplace death risk shit money thing that you need to staff this thing with. And the staff have to be able to keep smiling in spite of their own exploitation, in spite of the obviousness of the customers getting eye-wateringly buggered over a barrel at every fucking turn on that boat. Just keep smiling over every wave for every penny that you're earning. That's who you need to find to staff that boat. People who are happy enough to take your payment off your credit card and smile at you like, yeah, this is reasonable. This is reasonable, and I'm being really helpful right now, taking your card payments. But look at how amazing this all is. Look how happy we all are. All of it. I could be permanently happy about all of this because obviously all of it is fun. That's who you need. And so what do you get? You get this boatload of idiots serving you objectively terrible coffee. Your kids going crazy. They're bored as fuck. Almost all of the cruise ship passengers seem to be actually very posh. I guess because it's so expensive to go abroad now, whether that's flying or catching a boat or whatever. And so the general vibe of this boat is, I mean, like the clientele is, I would describe it as a murder of posh people getting out of their minds angry at, over here, mostly very stupid people, which all in that scenario, it does very little to fight the perception that posh people are just hugely intolerant and entitled and mean, and they think everyone else is below them, beneath them, or stupid. That was the vibe, the dynamic. But we got there, and it was cool. It was nice. The resort itself was pretty banging. Loads of shit for the kids to do. No shortage of stuff for the kids to do at the resort. What's up to Eurocamp? How you doing? I'll give you a little shout out there. If you got kids, Eurocamp, pretty good. And you know what? It's always fun to be outside of the jurisdiction of the UK porn ban for a few days, isn't it? That's pretty good. That's my holiday. That's smart. Yeah, but that's good. Good stuff. You know? That's an uptick. Things have turned around. Like, can you all just envision for a minute? Can you all just envision this whole fucking French park of mobile home cabin things, and outside each one of them is a fed-up mum harangued by her kids outside waiting, and the kids are like, "Why is Daddy taking so long?" All of the French locals are just like, "Why is every single public toilet busy with a fucking British man locked in there for 20 minutes?" But yeah, so we had fun on our holiday. We came back via ferry 2, which was again an experience. We left the cabin park late. I was tearing down the French and Spanish motorway so we don't miss this fucking boat. I'm gonna have to come on to the super chats in a minute. I'll just get to the end of this. So we're tearing down the motorway. We screech up at the border patrol straight into a queue. No point in racing down those motorways, burning out that petrol, stressing, worrying we're not going to make it, because then we just sit there. We get through passports, onto the ferry, to the exact same ferry as we got when we got down there. And the cabins on this thing are like prison cells. And they crammed 4 beds in this thing. Like, it's proper, you know, it's a cabin and it's cabin fever. That's how I'm thinking of it. And the kids have already exhausted what little entertainment there was on the way down. And now we're on the way back. I'm absolutely dreading this boat ride. Because, you know, we're stuck on it with 2 very bored kids for 2 days. And I'm like, okay, well, we're leaving in 45 minutes. So let's just get on the road or on the sea. Let's get on the sea. We'll think about dinner. We'll play a couple of card games. So we're supposed to leave at 1 p.m. comes and goes. No information. I'm like, are we fucking going? Are we twatting myself in the face of the mic tonight? I'm like, are we leaving? And then a text comes through. It says your departure has been delayed. I'm like, oh, fuck. What's 2 p.m. flies by in the blink of an actually very, very slow blink. 3 p.m. passes. 4 p.m. passes. Now, by this point, right, so we haven't left. We're just sat in this dock in this very warm boat with a weird smell on it. The kids were already bored before we even arrived. We've already played cards now by this point. We've done the cards. We've eaten. We've all exhausted the 90 minutes of complimentary free Wi-Fi. That's just burnt out immediately. It's just me and my missus, like, you know, connecting to it to stay in touch as we land opposite ends of the boat. We're tag teaming, you know, oh, now you take the little one, I'll take the older one, like going up and down different parts of the boat. But now we have no Wi-Fi. The boat roars to life. Guys, we're on the way. Woohoo! Okay. The aircon thing blasts through. And this aircon, I forgot to mention that. On the way down there, the aircon on there, like, I developed this really runny nose, this sort of man flu thing. And then I got the exact same thing almost immediately as I was on the boat again to go back up to the... It's really weird. Really weird. You know? If somebody did an expose of the aircon systems on this ferry company, and they were like, yeah, it turns out like we were blasting Ebola into the fucking cabin. So I'd be like, aha, right, okay, that's, yes. We got to the bottom of it then, didn't we? Like, I would not be surprised at all. So, man flu. I'm tired already. I had 2 days of, like, fuck all sleep. I'm stressed, driving down the foreign motorways. I don't even know if I was breaking the speed limit or anything. We've been delayed by 4 hours. My kids are bored. The internet's run out. We've maxed out Uno. The novelty's fucking gone. They're bored of that. My son has started trying to pass the time hacking into a plasma video game. You know, the shit plasma video game thing. Well, he's exited the shit spot the difference game that they've paid to do with ferries and lighthouses or whatever. He's exited that, and he's fired up Microsoft Paint on this Plasma PC because Microsoft Paint is more entertaining than the actual app that they put on this fucking thing. If you needed a read of how terrible the entertainment for the kids is, Microsoft Paint is what he's choosing over the entertainment. And then the Category 3 sea storm fucking started, which was like just the fucking icing on the cake. The Category 3 sea storm started. Guys, I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Is this the worst boat ride ever? Is it? It's got to be up. Like, I feel like I'm in a fucking Carry On movie or something. You know, there's people who were getting on it, knocking back the beers when we first arrived. You know, so bored of the delays, were they? That they just sort of shrugged and ordered 7 pints. Oh, well, fuck it, we're stuck in. You know? Excess. Holiday. Have fun. Let your hair down. At least I think that's what they were doing. I don't know. I was pretty busy with my salad, to be honest. So they were getting on it, knocking back the booze. But now we're in the thick of it. Now we're in this sea storm with these colossal waves. And you could see out the front of the boat, the horizon, like this, right, just going up and down as the boat, the ferry fucking goes over these huge waves. It's like actually really fucking I've never been on a boat like that before in that kind of weather. And now, you know, we're hours into their drinking session and the storm is hitting and everything. Like now there's just pissed up nans and granddads fucking struggling to stay upright. Tearing, like falling over in the hallways. There's a kid in the restaurant. Like I was eating with my kids. Having like trying to keep them busy, trying to just feed away their anger and hunger. And the staff fucking runs over to this kid with a brown paper bag, and he just blew chunks through the bag. Like it didn't stand a chance. This fucking feeble, brittle, paper thin brown paper, but straight through, just bang like your fucking eardrum at a Metallica concert. Gone. Like, honestly, guys. Honestly, I was so stressed on this ferry, the fucking weather, the storm, getting ripped off, the price gouging. I was getting impatient and ratty. I was definitely a dick on the way back, probably multiple times. I was like, you know, what the fuck is this? Like, is somebody pushed a Bibby Stockholm into the English Channel and charged people a fucking $1,000 to sail in a storm for a few hours? Like, what is this? How is this so bad? Like, we're on a fucking floating welcome break here in a Cat 3 storm. There's people puking. Somebody got airlifted to hospital. Like, I'm not making this up. I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. A helicopter flew to the fucking thing, landed on the boat. They wheeled somebody out. Somebody got airlifted off to hospital. And me and my girlfriend are down like opposite ends of the thing. And by that point, I'd paid the £30 for the Wi-Fi because obviously fuck my entire life. And my girlfriend texts me. And she goes, did you see the air ambulance? Took that guy off to hospital. I was like, yeah, maybe he tried to kill himself. Just couldn't take another day on this fucking boat. I get it. So I do. It's too much. You know, like that's when you know you're having a bad commute. Isn't it? Is when you look at them wheeling out the guy into the air ambulance, and the guy is in the throes of 2 simultaneous heart attacks, and you look at him, and you go, you lucky cunt. Like, truly. It was awful. It was an experience. Is what I mean. I was texting friends while we were in that storm, and feeling ill, the man flu, broke, the price gouging, all of the shit that I've told you about tonight. I was texting friends going like, we're coming up to the English Channel in a bit, and there's going to be a boatload of asylum seekers on it in a rickety as fucking small boat, and they're going to be pointing at us going, ha ha! Look at you in your shit boat, hey. So yeah, that was fun. We got back in one piece. Holiday was nice. Not so much of a fan of the ferries. You might have picked up on that. Ferries can fuck off. It's probably the conclusive statement of this segment. What else has been going on though? I suppose I should look at the super chats and shit, right? Hold on. Let's get the super chats going. Fan funding. John C says Jodai. Not sure what that means. Hope I haven't said anything sweary in another language. Sometimes I read about I never categorize myself as an influencer. Content creator, I suppose. Sometimes I read about content creators getting tricked into saying horrible things. It's like, hey, I'm here with my grandma from the Congo or Brazil or something. Would you mind saying this to her? It'll make her nigh really well. And then they say something that's fucking horrendously racist or something. You get cancelled. You get your whole fucking channel deleted for a goof. Yuri says, ferry staff paid fuck all. And all they can drink from the tap. Looking like they're whacked out of their gourd on Ritalin and methamphetamines. I mean, to be fair, they didn't look ill. Well, I was the one that looked ill. But it's just, I think you need to be able to attract somebody that's stupid enough to not understand or be infuriated by the exploitation that they're enduring. While they're being paid the minimum wage, while everyone else is being price gouged, whom they then have to serve. Happily. It's fucking nuts. David Farmer says, unfortunately can't stay long tonight. The wife scuppered my plans. Have a beer on me. Loved the porn ban bits. Thank you, David. That's very kind of you. What else has been going on? Let's talk a little bit about the news. What's been happening? What is the happy haps? Should we dish out a tap dancing tosser award tonight, guys? Have I got a doozy for you? Well done. That's absolutely pathetic. Okay. This week's Tap Dancing Tosser Award, which we try, if it's your first time tuning in for the pod, which you can always get on Apple and Spotify and, catch up, I guess they call it, a couple of days later. But if you're not familiar with Tap Dancing Tosser Awards, what we do is we distribute these awards to people I think that they have exhibited their own cretiny to award-winning standards. A performance of bellendry, if you will. Now, this week's one, we could have given it to Darren Grimes again, couldn't we? Because he spent his bank holiday online suggesting his brother, who was in a photo with some people of colour on a boat, he suggested that he looked like he had just come over on a small boat. But then I realised there are women and children present. So he's got himself in a bit of trouble off the back of that. We could have given him the award for this again. He's a frequent recipient. We could have gone with Ryan Clark. Couldn't we? Who appears to want to turn mid-morning ITV into GB News. With a load of make-believe nonsense about asylum seekers and Talk TV talking points. Clark can now count Grimes and size 6 starlet of the far right, Tommy Robinson, as his political cohorts, as his new fans. I'm sure he must be very proud. Just as a side note, I was... I was saying the other day to some friends when it all blew up. Like Rylan should be made, I think, a fitting punishment. Rylan should be made to explain to his friends and family what he would advise they do when it turns out that he has tacitly played a role in pulling us out of the ECHR, and they all lose their weekends, annual leave, and sick pay. I think he should be made to explain that. Well, here's what you do. Here's what you do when you just keep your head down. Well, they can't do that. Oh, they can. They can do it to you now. Oh, okay. He should be put in that position. You need to explain it, Rylan. I mean, you obviously know what you're talking about, right? The alternative would be that you're talking fucking shit, son. Still, if we do leave the ECHR and, as a result, your employer changes the terms and conditions of your contract, maybe if you do get really sick and you can't work and you deteriorate further, you get iller still, you're knocking on death's door, maybe the red cross that you painted on a mini roundabout could serve as an air ambulance landing pad, couldn't it? Like a sort of an SOS beacon on the mini roundabout there, or something, maybe. Nice one, Rylan. What am I supposed to do if I get sick? Well, maybe just go and paint a mini roundabout about it. Will be his next talking point, I'm sure. So, back to the Tap Dancing Tosser Award. Aid, stay on point for once in your life. We could have gone with Rylan. We could have done Grimes. Elon Musk was in the news today suggesting that this asylum hotels verdict thing means that the Labour government are against their own people. Woo! I'm scared, guys. I am scared of this dictatorship that is forming over here. Can't tell you how terrified I am of Keir Starlin. So we could have had Elon or Trump, who seems to be on the way out. I actually think it's not outside of the realms of possibility that he may croak it now, sooner or later. And this time, his near-death experience, his brush with death, will probably not involve fake blood capsules and magically grown back ear cartilage, by the looks of things. So it could have been any of those, any of the aforementioned. But no, tonight we recognise and celebrate Reform Councillor Mick Barton. Guys, let me get his picture up. Hold on a sec. Where is it? There you go. What a winner. Look at him. Look at this bloody miracle. Tonight we celebrate Mick Barton. He's the Reform Party's head of Nottinghamshire County Council, despite never having worked in a council before, let alone led one. But much like many of his cohorts, he didn't let the lack of experience, compassion, talent, charisma, knowledge, or suitability hold him back, and was instead propelled to the gaudy heights of bin collections and parish meetings by that other titan of conservative thought, Lee Anderson, himself a multi-recipient of the Tap Dancing Tosser Award. Barton, it says here on the BBC's news site, was a former coal mine worker. Okay, fine. It says he moved into being a car salesman after that. He has some experience with Mansfield District Council in 2003, but he concedes a county council and being head of it, is a very different beast. And this was in May. It says, as a newcomer to the council, some may naturally question whether Barton has the experience for such a big job. And then he replies, well, they'll have to judge me over the next 12 months, 24 months, or up to 4 years, he said. And like a lot of these reform types, he rode in on that Elon Musk Doge obsessed ticket, right? You would have heard Richard Tice talking about Doge. You would have heard, what's the other chap? Zia Yusuf is talking about head of UK Doge. I think does Charlotte Gill, does she do stuff to do with Doge? I think. And the whole thing is ridiculous. Like they like to pretend that they would be able to save $1 billion or two from taking down a few rainbow flags and shutting down diversity programs that never existed. That seems to be the modus operandi of this whole Doge UK thing. Anyway, the reason that I remind you of that is because that whole Doge thing, even in America, was misinformation. Musk said he was going to save 50 billion or so. It was definitely in the upper tens of billions. He said he was going to save, and he ended up saving a fraction of that, a real tiny percentage. Musk said it was all worth it because they had shut down research on things like transgender mice or something. But then it turned out that wasn't true either. None of it was true. And then the stuff that they had shut down, like the Federal Hurricane Coordination Response Body in Georgia, resulted in an uptick in hurricane-related deaths down that way because they weren't warning people quick enough, or too many people were maxed out, under-resourced. You get the idea. So the whole, isn't Doge amazing, or we should do that here, the whole thing is bullshit. It's made up numbers, and it is continuously even now, sold on the back of propaganda. To the extent that even the liar-in-chief, Donald Trump, was recently reported to have asked his staff about Elon Musk, so the whole thing was bullshit? That's apparently what he said. He's only just figuring out now that the guy who he put in charge of doging out the American public sector, that the whole thing was nonsense. That's even Trump. Even Trump is that sounds like bullshit to me. Finally picking up on it. So everyone knows it's rubbish. So, all of it's nonsense, and Musk, of course, the grand wizard of internet disinformation as owner of X, is also head of Doge, whom these guys seek to replicate or emulate. Anyway, now this week, getting back to the story that is powering the Tap Dancing Toss Reward. This week, also on BBC News, Mick Barton, Reform Nottinghamshire County Council leader, has been reported on by the local press in Nottinghamshire, the Nottingham Post and Nottinghamshire Live. They've been asking him questions about how successful his reorganisation is going to be. What savings have you made? And some disquiet in his team. And in response to that probing. Remember, these guys are all free speech, right? They're all supposed to be open, transparent, free speech. You all get too offended too easily. Cancel culture. Ring any bells, right? So he gets asked a few questions, and in response to them, he says he will not allow misinformation to shape the narrative of our governance. He will not allow misinformation to shape the narrative of our governance. Really? Really, Mick? Are you sure about that? Have you checked it with top brass? Have you? I will not allow misinformation to shape my governance. Well, fuck me in the throat with my father's dick. Is that refreshing? That's nice to hear. It's nice to hear, Mick. Mick Barton. Christ. You know, it's oi, lads. Lads, Reform aren't going to let lies into their politics anymore. You know, people are oh, well, what else are they going to do then? Honestly, I have no idea. I'm not sure they do either. So, the Nottingham Post and Nots Live, websites, publications, newspapers, local journalism, right? Basically, they reported, I think I've got this right, that some of Mick Barton's own staff had taken issue with his reorganisation. And he wanted to, interestingly enough, expand the council so it would gobble up 2 other areas. According to this. So he's reducing government with a twist. Like, small government, except for when I say so. And anyway, two of his also reform subordinates, again, according to the Knots Live journalists here, they weren't supportive of his plan. But then in response to that, they were threatened with suspension if they didn't vote for it. Because fascists are going to fascist, I guess, aren't they? I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when a fascist asks you if you're with him or against him? Are you Team Mick or not? Lads. It's all about sovereignty, democracy, but it's also my way or the fucking highway. You fucking learner badges, you little cretins, you plebs. Do you want to go back to whatever your job was before the local elections? What were you doing? Oh well, I fixed bicycles in the local market. Right, okay. And what do you do now? Well, now I'm the head of the county council procurement, running 3 teams of 40 people. Right, okay. Well, do you want to go back to the market? Not really. No. I'd much rather stay here. Right, okay. I'll do it. If you disobey me, if you vote against me, you can kiss head of council procurement, the 70 grand salary, the company car, goodbye. There are a million other 19-year-olds who will do this job for me. I could click my fingers and you're toast. Your career's over. Anyway, so the two guys who are allegedly threatened with suspension, the local news get wind of it. They asked the two guys for comment. They both sent back suspiciously identical or near identical responses to the journalist, almost as though somebody somewhere has told them what to say, trying to control the media narrative, not to let it get out of hand. They also ask this Mick Barton guy, who refuses to give his side of the story. He just says no comment. And then they're like, well, you know what? We've done our due diligence. We've asked them for a comment. We've given them notice. Like these are things that newspapers and publications have to do right ahead of time. They're like, we're about to go to print. This is a thing. Have you got any comment? Would you like to threaten us with legal action or create a super injunction or, so they've done all of that. And then they do publish the piece anyway. On the 21st of August. And then on the 26th of August, like, was that 5 days? 4.5 days afterwards, Mick Barton, reform head of the council, he bans Knots Live and Nottingham Post. He bans them. Just complete carpet ban from council matters and events. All of his staff are banned from speaking to these local journalists as well. It's like nobody's allowed to talk to them. None of them. They have no access. They're not allowed to attend council meetings. Nothing. Free speech. Cancel culture. Oh, they're so fucking amateur, aren't they? I think that's what gets me, is they're so fucking amateur. It's like, what are they even going to be like in government? When they're like this with like local county council stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's right now, what are we talking about? We're talking about a car salesman handling an actually pretty uninteresting council vote impressively poorly. Is what we're doing. Like, it kind of makes you stand back and go, like, how have you managed to fuck up a boring story like this so badly? How has this become a big... Oh, it's on BBC News now. Why are people talking about it on podcasts, Mick? How have you messed this up? If they're like this with council meeting matters and local journalists on Reach Media sites that nobody fucking reads, I mean, I was sort of, reading through this stuff, researching it earlier. And I was saying on Twitter, I was just like, you know what? If you wanted to bury a secret, if you wanted to hide a secret anywhere, you should style it like a Reach Media thing, have all the ads pop up and the cookie notice. And nobody would find it. Nobody, even if they wanted to, they would never gain access to the actual website to consume that information. It's impossible. Anyway, so this is from their site. Let me just read this to you. Knots Live say, let us remember that this ban was apparently caused by an article on local government reorganisation. Right. In which we simply reported that some of Councillor Barton's group were unhappy with the position that he adopted, which is available for all to see on the public Facebook page of at least one Reform councillor. So wait, hang on. A Facebook ban too, Mick? If it's seeable, if it's readable information, it's public on Facebook. Is that embarrassing? Are Facebook banned from the council meetings too, Mick? You know? Just how seriously are we taking misinformation and negative reporting? Because I promise you right now, Mick Barton, Facebook is a fountain of misinformation too. They say the article also included a claim that Reform's councillors in Nottinghamshire who do not end up voting for Councillor Barton's preference could be suspended from the group. The two councillors who are alleged to have made this comment were given ample opportunity before the article was published to deny the claim, as was Councillor Barton himself. None of them did. And then, just to round off, they say the news comes just a couple of months after friend of the show, Leanderthal, launched his own attack on Nottinghamshire Live. For running too many negative stories about his party. In his case, it was because a Reform councillor by the name of Desmond Clark resigned days into his term, almost immediately. And I tried to find a reason why he quit basically immediately, but it just says a change in personal circumstances. And I was a bit like, a change in personal. I was like, what does that mean? Like you got a job as a Reform councillor? Because that is a change in personal circumstances, isn't it? That is, like what happened? Like he got elected as a Reform councillor, and he looked around himself. He's just like, oh no! Look at me! No, what have I become? Oh, this is a change in my personal. See, I got the turquoise rosettes and oh God, I got a can of red paint and a little paintbrush here. I'm stood on a zebra crossing painting the white. Oh Christ! Well, this is definitely a change in my personal circumstance. I'm going to have to resign, regrettably, because there was a lot of talk before. I don't know if you're new to the podcast. We have discussed this a couple of times around those local elections. The Reform did so well in. There were a couple of instances reported where people were being fielded as Farage and Tice's candidates. They had no idea that they might actually be in with a chance of winning. They thought they were just like 3D humanoid billboards for Reform, right? Just somebody to have on the podium on the night. Somebody knocking around campaigning for Reform. And then when they found out that they won, there was these reports of them being briefed out where they were like, I can't afford to be a fucking councillor. I have a job already. I've got a mortgage. I'm out. I quit immediately. So maybe he was one of them. I don't know. But the guy resigns, and this triggers an immediate by-election. And Lee Anderson, a bleached Frankenstein here, is asked if it's value for money. If his party should have maybe had their house in order ahead of time, put a candidate up who would actually serve the community that they were elected to serve rather than immediately bailing out. Because by-elections, if you've got to immediately jump into a by-election, it's a lot of money. And it all goes back, it's costed back to the local authority. So you're depriving, fucking another hired nurse or a social care facility or something. So Leanderthal was asked what his thoughts were and if Reform should have had their house in order. And his response to Knots Live was to dismiss and disparage the same publication and take the piss out of journalists, suggesting it's not a proper job, that they're going to have to go and get a proper job, which I think that actually might be my favourite bit out of this, because, on the off chance that you've forgotten, as indeed it appears to have escaped Anderson on that afternoon. Anderson himself works for a fucking news station. That's what makes it so ridiculous. You know, he hosts a show on GB News. He works with and for journalists on a day-to-day basis. He's actually paid more by GB News on six figures than he is as a fucking MP. He's like, that's... Fuck the journalist. It's not a real job. It is actually your real job, Lee. It truly is. It seems to be paying your mortgage quite well, son. Anyway, Mick Barton, former car salesman, now leader of Nottinghamshire County Council, for refusing to give comment to the paper, then chastising them for controlling a narrative you didn't do much yourself to shape, alluding to misinformation while you, yourself, and your wider party all swim in internet disinformation and conspiracy. Please take a bow. You are this week's tap dancing tosser. Well, that's absolutely pathetic. Okay, finally tonight. Running very short on time here. So I'm going to try and get through this really, really quickly. Guys, are you still with me? Are you still with me in the live chat? Let me get back to the all messages here. Let's get through a very, very quick weird news story. Shall we? So, where have I got it? Shall I put it on the... here we go. Okay. I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully you can see this. Here is a weird news story. Woman paid £3,000 after police laugh at her sex toys. Oh, yeah. Yes, guys. Come for the rants and satirical observations. Stay for the fable of the Middle England dildo. It says, let me read this to you super, super quickly. It says, a woman was paid thousands of pounds in compensation after police officers moved her underwear and laughed at her sex toys in her bedroom. That's what it says. I mean, it's a little bit unprofessional, isn't it? I'll give it that. You got to be respectful. I think you're a police officer, and you've presumably been trained to deal with people from all walks of life, and it's, it's 2025. You know the reputation of policemen and how they've treated women, or how they've kidnapped, assaulted, murdered, mocked, and not believed women on thousands of times. You must know the kind of pressure you're under to just not laugh at the dildo. I feel like that should be entry level. Like, start there, guys. This is Mick Barton shit all over again. Like, how did you fuck up such a first tier entry level thing? How did you mess this bit up? Maybe being a police officer these days, they're just so concerned with whether you will actually murder somebody and try to get away with it and be corrupt and awful or whatever. If you do so, yeah, I might laugh at a dildo occasionally. Well, all right, that's not. I mean, it's not terrible, is it? It's not kidnapping. It's not murder. I mean, we'll start there. We'll work our way up. Okay. Maybe this is as good as it gets for the Met. Or whatever. Anyway, it says Suffolk police searched her property. It's not the Met. Okay, so it's Suffolk and Essex, it says, in October 2023 as part of a drugs raid which saw one suspect arrested but eventually released without charge. Okay, right. Prompted a complaint from the woman who felt she had been disrespected by three very young officers after they made jokes coming across a box containing sex toys. I'm starting to sort of get a picture here of what's going on. You know, like if you get raided for drugs, somebody gets arrested, cops go through all of your stuff, all of your things, turn the place upside down, and then it turns out, you know, they release the guy without charge, and maybe mistaken identity or so. You know, you feel violated. Then maybe you figure, you know, you get your own back on the cops. Maybe you go, oh, hang on a second, what did they do? Did they laugh? They laughed. Well, you should sue them. You should sue them and get compensation. Ha ha! Like, it's understandable, right? I'd probably do the same, I think. It says Suffolk police stressed that although a box containing sex toys was found and subject to comment and laughter, officers did not touch or play with the items. So that's a relief. That's nice. I mean, if police found my dildo, I'd be upset. I would be. I think I'd be more upset than if I caught them laughing at it. But still, I would take a laugh over them playing with it any day of the week. Like a laugh is upsetting, I think. But walking in, you know, seeing how they go, like, did you find what you're looking for, lad? So, oh my God, you know, seeing them busted out. Two of them are double-ending it, having a whale of a time in there, in your marital bed. I mean, that would be upsetting. So it's a relief to hear from Suffolk Police that they chose not to have a play with it upon finding it. And apparently they've both been suspended and made to undergo reflective practice training. Or something, like whatever the fuck that is. I mean, at least until Reform get in and doge all of that out, presumably. I mean, is there no Reform counsellor in Suffolk? You know, what is this HR reflective practice waste of money? It all sounds a bit woke to me. It all sounds a bit... We shouldn't be wasting our money on that stuff. We should be spending it on red paint for roundabouts. And I'll tell you what, who is this? Who's reporting this? BBC News. Oh, okay. All right. BBC News again. Well, I'll tell you what, BBC News. If you dare tell anyone that the Suffolk Reform Council have endangered lives or evoked the snowflakey blushes of constituents sacking off reflective practice or any more of that snowflakey woke bollocks, if you dare spread such misinformation or control that narrative, I will have no choice other than to ban BBC News from all council matters, meetings and contact. Guys, that's it. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Sorry I've gone on a little bit late tonight. I will be back next week with some alternative paper reviews. I will be back next week with a midweek episode of the podcast. Also, I'm going to log out now of the podcast, but I'm going to stick around for the lock-in. So if you're here on Friday night, that means you get to stick around, throw out some Q&A. We'll have a little chin wag. If you're not, if you're listening to this later on Spotify or Apple, I'll catch up with you another time. All right, take care. Keep it booge. Keep it Bimfluencer. And we are out. Mother footer. Okay, right. Where's the lock-in? Here we go. How we doing, guys? What are you saying?